Money, they say, is the root of all evil. Drum roll. How many times have you heard that statement? Let me restitute the facts. What the Bible actually says, what is written in the Bible is the love of money is the root of all evil. That's in 1 Timothy, I think chapter 6 verse 10. I'm not a biblical savant, I'm not a theologian, but what I do understand is when your mind sees something as evil, there is no way you can reconvince yourself to pursue it. Even though there's a difference between the thing itself and the love of the thing, however, you can only pursue something that you love. You can't pursue something that you hate or that you're indifferent about. Now, before you all come at me and say, hey, how dare you say that? But I'm saying what I understand. Let's get to the basics. Why am I even doing this video? I'm interested in talking about the habits of millionaires, people who are wealthy, who've made wealth, accumulated wealth. And if you live in countries where it's taxation season like now, you will find out that no matter how much you make, you realize that so much money is cut in taxes. But guess what? The wealthy people don't pay those same amount of taxes because they own businesses and investments that are turning year round. The money is working for them and they don't have to pay taxes because they're not employed by anybody. There's so much to learn from that, and that's what I'm out today to find out and to dish out. So hang tight, I'll be right back. Hello guys, my name is Valentine King and welcome to the Immigrant Mindset platform, where we give you tools to learn and grow and navigate life as an immigrant. Anywhere you find yourself in the world for success, set you up for success. And today we're talking about the money, the mullah. But before I go any further, let me just say that I'm not a financial coach. I'm not a money guru. I'm not an expert in money matters. And I'm not a millionaire either. But you and I know one thing for sure, is that you don't need to be any of these things for you to be interested in studying and understanding how people who are wealthy have made their wealth. And I'm focusing on the habits of millionaires. I'm not even talking about the billionaires, I'm talking about the millionaires, what is even attainable. Because if you start making 6 figures, it's possible to get to become a millionaire. Why not? You should dream to become a millionaire. So I'm just saying we all share that aspiration and that dream. So all those of us who are just dreaming of becoming millionaires, let's gather here now and have a conversation. And this message is for all of us, anyone across the world, the African youth, the person who is struggling to get ahead in life. It applies in any currency. You can make it. You can start from somewhere and grow to the top. And the number one thing I found was common among the documentation, the research, and the books that I read was that people who tend to become millionaires often have a circle that is very, very controlled. And one of the great books that I once read many years ago, Think and Grow Rich, that I still have in my collection till date, mentioned having a mastermind, having people in that circle that are people that push you to success, that have the same drive, that can hold you to account because they all have the same driven mindset for achieving greatness in whatever field they find themselves in. And you can tap into those resources. You can get ideas. You can learn new things. You can find out new trends before they come out, and you can also be ahead, because most times before people even invest in things that are becoming lucrative, those who are ahead of the game, the innovators in society, have already taken advantage of it, and you're only getting in to get the crumbs. Think about cryptocurrency. We talk about that. People are talking about cryptocurrency today. Every person who is getting into crypto today, I bet you, is just catching the bandwagon, because the real people who are ahead of the curve were the people who had Bitcoin when it was at its earliest stage. And guess what? One Bitcoin is like $37,000 today. But imagine that you had gotten into that level of investment earlier on. The second habit that I also detected was the fact that most people who end up being wealthy and millionaires always pay themselves first. I read this in the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. It tells you a lot about taking care of yourself. Paying yourself first here means that what you want to set aside for your savings or your investment needs to come first before you can spend it on any designers or any whatever your desires and your wants are. You focus on your needs when you have a little money, and the rest, the first thing you do is you put aside what you want for your future or your goals in the thing that is supposed to generate wealth in the future, whether it's your investment or anything you have on the side. Now, yes, you need to have a lot of money to even think about these things. None of us are there yet, but these are habits that we need to cultivate. Paying yourself first means that you take care of yourself, in this case your future self, because where you are today, what you're doing today may be sufficient, but what if you lose your job? Or what if you lose your opportunities? But what if something happens? Whether you're a businessman, an entrepreneur, homme d'affaires, you name it, call it whatever you want to call it. A startup, small business, sole proprietor, say anything. But it starts from there. You being able to pay yourself first means, even if it means plowing back, reinvesting any leftovers that you have from your income after you've paid your bills. And in the Rich Dad Poor Dad scenario, he even advises that you pay yourself first before you even pay your bills. It was weird reading it, but it's interesting that that's the mindset. Another common denominator I found out is multiple streams of income. Multiple streams of income is not a new thing. But here is where those who become wealthy and millionaires differ. First of all, for you to be great at anything to the point of even making money out of it, it's an uphill task, so it's not easy. So if you have a full-time job and you're trying to make something on the side, it therefore means that you may be in times where it's hard for you to even give your all in your full-time job, and if you're a high-grade professional, it even becomes so difficult. That's why most people quit their full-time job and then invest in their business. That is a very difficult part, and that's why I say multiple streams of income can only be more beneficial once a person is an entrepreneur. That is the trick, because from all the literature, it's clear that just having multiple streams of income is not going to cut it, because you're diversifying yourself. Now, if the multiple streams of income is passive income or residual income that is coming from things that you're not investing, say you build an app and the app is selling, every time somebody downloads it, you get $5. That is great passive income. All you probably need to invest is to update the app, because the reviews that may come from other people may discourage you to get new customers if you just abandon it, because it still needs some kind of maintenance. However, for those who invest in real estate, they buy buildings and all these places, homes, and give it out for rent and all these things. They make money out of it. Yes, there is a maintenance cost. They have to also make it happen, have good agents and all those things. These are all aspects of multiple sources of income. What about you just having your talents that you use on the side? It could be anything. It could be you know how to sew. You're a designer at heart. You know how to do tailoring. You can do good designs and clothes and sell them online in an online store while you're also working your 9-to-5 job. But you see, all of these things still means that it's you, the human, investing your energy and your time in trying to juggle all of these things. However, what I found from curating the habits of these wealthy people ending up becoming millionaires is that they took a calculated risk, which is my next point. They have the capacity to detect when to take a calculated risk. You leaving your country and going to a new country to start a new life is a calculated risk. We should not minimize those little efforts. Those are the things that lead you to your success, to becoming a millionaire or anything you want to become in life. So, but being able to take a calculated risk to leave or quit your job and go start your business like Jeff Bezos did to start up his book his online bookstore. Basically, that's what Amazon was. It was an online bookstore that this guy was running from his home or his basement or something. And then look at where it landed him today. Now, everybody would not become Jeff Bezos. It's always an example because, I mean, it's out there. People can see it. It's clear, the path, the storyline and everything. Which kind of leads me to the next habit that I curated. These people who have so much money and wealth that they end up being millionaires and so on, they read a lot. They amass knowledge from whether it's podcasts, it's videos, it's books and seminars and workshops. They actually tap into so much information. That's what helps them to always be one step ahead because they analyze the way society is going and then make moves and know where to invest and know the things to put their money in. They are always out there sourcing for new ideas. They don't have time to watch to do Netflix and chill. I don't have anything against Netflix and chill. Some people even say millionaires don't watch TV. I beg to differ. They watch TV, but they watch very specific content that tailors to their needs, especially for their business ventures. And that's the thing. There is so much content out there today, but you have to focus on the content that brings you some added value to help you in your life. So we just have to keep doing what we're doing and learn. That's why these people, they never stop learning. Whether you're driving to work or you're driving a long distance to a place or whatever, listen to that podcast, tap into that audiobook, gather the knowledge that you can gather. We don't always have the time, I guarantee you, but that is where you need to now do the things if that is your interest. Now, if you're not interested in it, there's no point doing it. But if that's your interest, then it's hard work. You need to be able to invest that kind of time to amass a little bit of knowledge from the people who have gone before you. All of us are learners and we're trying to understand it. That triangle, that money triangle, that effort always gets its reward and so on and so forth. Let's talk about another common denominator which has to do with the vision of seeing things beyond what they actually are. Let me explain. Have you ever seen that photo where 2 or 3 people were looking at a tree? The 3 of them looked at a tree. One person saw a shelter they could sit under and shade themselves from the sun. Another person saw firewood that they could cut the branches and burn it for wood and heat themselves up. Another person saw timber that could be transformed to make other pieces of furniture and later on paper and so on and so forth. This is the same thing, but 3 people are seeing it from 3 different angles. The person who ends up being a millionaire is the person who saw that tree as timber to woodwork and paper and all the things that you can imagine that comes from tree. So it turns out that millionaires have the vision to see things more than what they actually are, and that is also futuristic. It's not an easy thing, and that's why I want to point on the next habit that people who actually generate wealth and become millionaires have in common, which has to do with how they see failure, how they embrace failure. Because we sometimes have been taught that having failed in anything in life makes you a failure. 0. That is not the case. You failing at something does not mean you are a failure. And you have to be able to fail and learn, because every experience that you get will teach you some lessons. But at the same time, you should be able to avoid making the same mistakes over and over. And it so happens that the people who actually accumulate wealth and end up becoming millionaires have failed in so many things in life, but they were never stuck at that level of failure. Each time they failed, they took some lessons and moved ahead, because nothing is set on stone. Nothing is granted. You have to make it, and the only way to make it is to try. I would regret not trying something rather than actually failing because I tried. That is my philosophy. I believe that you need to try, and we all have tried in so many things, I can go on and on with so many aspects of life that we all have tried and failed, but we tried. Do I regret trying? No. You have to try and fail. So setting up a small business, starting in every venture, doing things and going up and down, making moves, all of these things, they come with sacrifices. And entrepreneurs, business people understand it better. They know that failure is part of the journey, and it's so exciting and refreshing. When you actually succeed, the excitement of success should be your driving force, not the fear of failure. Bam. Another common denominator with the people who end up generating so much wealth and becoming millionaires has to do with their understanding of liabilities and assets. They always make that distinction very early on, because I tie it with another challenge or problem which arises when you don't make that distinction. That is where you realize that we often live above our means. Living above our means is synonymous to not understanding our liabilities versus our assets, because we spend money on things that would not generate us any income in the long run, even in the short or medium term. Therefore, we don't put our money into things that can generate wealth in the long run, which are assets. The liabilities would absorb the money. So people even end up making more money, like say they get a raise, they get a promotion, but their spending habits also go up, which means they start to spend more, because we often fall into the trap of a little bit of a raise, a little bit of an extra money, and then all of a sudden our shopping habits go up, our spending habits go up without our investments going up. Think about it, make that distinction if you haven't been making it yet. Some of these things are common sense in a way, but why is it so hard that we are still not getting it? I don't know. You leave a comment below and tell me what you think and how we all can actually learn from each other and benefit. Next point, work ethic trumps talent. Work ethic here has to do with people rising up early depending on their sleep pattern and their job circle. People investing enough time in the things that can generate wealth and resources down the line. Having that strong work ethic that pushes them to do the hard things every single day, even without a reward, because they have their eyes set on the goal. Having that strong work ethic, it could be work ethic in any domain, it doesn't matter. Even when you work for yourself, you need to be able to put in more than 12-15 hours to get things done. It's work ethic. You burn the midnight oil to get it done, and done well. Anything worth doing is worth doing well. And it turns out those people who actually make so much money and become wealthy are the people who have a very strong work ethic. They wake up early, they go to bed late, but they are up doing the things that pushes their investment forward. They are not up doing the wrong things like binge watching 10 series, 4 series, trilogies and everything. There's nothing wrong about all these things I'm mentioning, by the way. It's well and good if you have the time, if you're relaxing, you're on vacation, you have the time for it, you've set aside, you've done all the things you needed to do, you can relax and watch all these things. All I'm saying is there is a time for everything. And as my biblical mojo is kind of kicking in, let's just say there is a time for everything under the sun. How about that? Anyways, but let's focus on what I'm saying here. The strong work ethic pushes you to succeed in so many ways, and that is a common denominator with the people who amass wealth and end up becoming the wealthiest and the millionaires and that we admire and aspire to become. And we are all students in that school. And I want us to testify many years from today, when these videos would have been so old, we'll kind of look back and say, we talked about some of these things, and how, it was said, we were learning about it, but maybe it comes to fruition. Who knows? God has the master key, but He has given it to us because we are in charge of our destinies according to His will. Thank you so much for watching up to the end. Please make sure to click that like button, and hey, you haven't subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss a thing, and also share the video far and wide within your circles. You know, it's important for us to keep doing this thing. Again, thank you so much, and make sure to check out the other videos that may have content that will be interesting to you, or you know those who are coming to Canada, new immigrants, and they want to learn about little things that can help them get ahead. International students and what have you. You know, this is all about the immigrant mindset. This is the platform that will bring you the knowledge, the information, the tools, the skill sets that we tap in as we get ahead in life and find out more. So don't miss a thing, and until the next video, take care, stay safe.